Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Ari Russian, where we usually learn Russian language. This video is a bit different because here I'd like to introduce some Russian culture. Today I'm going to talk about Russian national costumes. I think the national costume of every country is an amazing phenomenon, reflecting the characteristics of culture, people and history. So that's why knowing more about it will help you to understand the mentality of people living in this country. If you are interested in learning Russian or in Russian culture, you can subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you will not miss my next videos. Are you ready? Let's begin! Russian national costume, its type and ornament were influenced by many factors, such as geographical location, climate, and the main occupations of the people in this region. Russian national costume began to appear around 12th century. Since Russians had long been considered an agricultural people, this of course influenced on the features of the national costume, its ornament, outlook, details. Also, Russians all have lived for centuries in the conditions of a short summer and a long, fierce winter. What could they do during the endless winter evenings when there is a blizzard blows outside the window? Of course, women wove, sewed and embroidered. Speaking briefly, they were creating something. National clothes also often emphasized age and family differences. From just one look at the clothes, people could understand where a person came from, to which social class he belonged. Sometimes the decoration contained some symbolic information about his studies, customs, and family events. There are several features of the Russian traditional costume. First, it was functional. The Russian costume didn't constrain movement. It was light, not hot, but at the same time it was warm enough to hide from the weather. It had a convenient design. The design of some articles of clothing didn't require cutting the fabric, so the waste of the fabric was minimal. There were not many seams, so the sewing time was short, and the people didn't need to have high skills. It also had a lot of decorative elements. The clothes were colorful, bright, with a lot of textures and ornaments. The Russian national costume sure had many changes over the time, but one thing has remained unchanged: the layering of the outfit. This requirement was for both female and male clothing. The wealthier the Russian man was, the more layers of clothes he put on. Each person had a set of ordinary, everyday clothing and ceremonial or holiday clothing. The second was decorated with additional details corresponding to the position of the owner. The ceremonial attire of the rich woman could consist of 20 things. 7 elements were enough for a daily set. Let's talk about women's Russian national costume. Women's costume was more beautiful and had much more luxury decoration than men's. And this is not surprising, because a woman in Russia has always been considered as a personification of grace, tenderness. She was the keeper of the heart. Shirt, or rubaha. The main element of the woman's Russian costume was an ankle-length shirt. The sleeves and collar of the shirt were decorated with embroidery, braid, buttons, sequins, and various patterns. Sometimes the entire chest part of the shirt was decorated with a bright ornament. Patterns, ornament, details, and colors in various provinces were different. Shorts were decorated with black embroidery, embroidery with gold threads, silk or cotton. Red, blue, and black colors were also very popular. Sarafan, or jumper dress. The word sarafan comes from Persian. It means over the head. These dresses had a trapezoidal silhouette and were worn over a shirt. There were several types of sarafan: conservative, oversized, and straight. Oversized dresses were sewn from 2 parts of fabric, and not one as in a conservative dress. Clothes were decorated using beautiful buttons or fasteners. The straight dresses with straps were easy to produce, but they appeared a little later. The most popular colors for this dress were dark blue, green, red, dark cherry. Festive and wedding dresses were sewed mainly from brocade or silk, and everyday ones were often made from chintz. Ceremonial outfits were also decorated with gold and silver threads, pearls, and other jewelry. The choice of fabric depended on how rich the family was. Warm vest, душегрея, was put over sarafan. For peasants, it was festive cloth, and for the nobility, it was clothes for every day. The vest of nobles was sewn from expensive fabrics like velvet or brocade. A distinctive feature of women's costume was that they wore a wide variety of hats. What hat to wear depended on age or marital status of a woman. The young girls' hairstyle usually were quite simple. They left part of the hair open and used ribbons, bandages, hoops, or folded scarves. Кокошник. Married women had to completely cover their hair with a hat. Кокошник was the headdress of a married woman. Married women put it on when they went outside, and at home they usually wore a cap or a scarf. Red color in clothing. Красный цвет в одежде. This color was preferred in clothes of both peasants and landlords. This color symbolized the fire, the sun, or source of power. In traditional Russian customs, you can see about 35 shades of red color. It was the most popular festive color. Even the wedding dresses were most often sewn of red, beautiful fabrics. Now let's talk about men's Russian costume. Men's costume in Russia was much less beautiful than women's. Men's clothing, like women's, was multi-layered, spacious and comfortable. The peasants wore less pieces of clothing than the nobles. Shirt, рубаха. The basic thing in clothing was a shirt. Peasants wore it as outwear, but landlords as underwear. Shirts with the collar or without it were made from natural fabrics, such as linen, cotton, and silk. Shirts could be simple, without decorations, but often they were richly embroidered with bright threads. These shirts didn't have buttons, and they were belted with a narrow belt. Pants or партки. Pants were made exclusively for men. Women didn't have the right to wear such things. These pants were tied around the waist and at the ankles. The peasants wore only one pair, but the nobles wore two. The lower pair was worn to preserve heat. The upper ones were decorated with embroideries, pearls, and very expensive piece of cloth. Kaftan. This piece of men's clothing was worn by landlords. It was embroidered, decorated with precious stones, gold or silver threads, pearls. The more luxurious the design, the richer was the owner. Best shoes. Lapti. Best shoes were traditional peasant shoes for men and women. These shoes were weaved from a bast, a thin tree bark, usually birch. The people were taught the art of creating such shoes from the childhood, and in a Russian village, all family members usually knew how to do it. People living in the cities wore boots. These were different models with straight toes and with toes bent upwards. All these boots were on a flat sole, without heels. So that's it for today. And today we talked about Russian national costumes, their types, ornaments, and features. I hope this video was interesting for you. And if you like it, you can subscribe to my channel and press the notification button so that you will know when will be my next video. See you! Bye bye!